Oh, everyone keeps wondering how I make one of these helmets. It's paper mache and cardboard. I'm gonna teach you guys how to make it. Right, you guys got a messy room? Clean all this up, okay? See, you guys saw magic, but actually, I did clean up my table.
Need a mask, some hot glue, and hot glue gun. Let's go. Alright, we're gonna take this airsoft mask that I got for free, and I'm just gonna do a whole general shape of what I'm gonna do. This hot glue gun that I've been using for like 4 years now, and I bought a bunch of hot glue sticks. Here we go. So basically what now I'm doing is I'm taking off the straps. I'm going to be cutting up all of this cardboard to make into strips, and those strips will be the shape of your helmet. So now that you have your cardboard, now you're just going to cut them into strips. You have more pieces, and I'm going to take this, cut in half, and make them into even more thinner strips. These thinner strips will build your structure of your helmet. So now I'm taking all the cardboard strips and I'm going to start test fitting it, getting a general idea of what I'm going to build. Now I'm going to heat up my hot glue gun, and yep.
Hey, so my name's Zen, or Helix. So while I'm waiting for that hot glue to heat up, I would like to talk about my sponsor, no one. But I will talk about joining my server on Discord. It's where you get to see the most of my crackhead and lovable people. Go check the link in the description and it will be there, and you can talk to me and all that good stuff while I complain about waiting for this, when it's only going to take you about 15 seconds.
Obviously, you should be safe for what you're doing. Don't be dumb like me. As you can see here, I'm taking the strap and I'm putting it around my head to get a rough estimate of what I'm going to cut and measure. Now I'm taking the mask and putting it around my head with the strap on, and then I'm going to do the final cuts. And I'm saying Yaga to cut it off because why not? Hopefully it's not too short, as my past self said. As you can see right there, I just burnt myself with the hot glue gun. You shouldn't do this. Make sure you're being safe with what you're doing and be aware of your whole surrounding. And I just showed like how big the space should be around the whole helmet, and that's like the full size of your helmet. So what I'm doing here is basically putting more structure to the helmet and making it more round so that it follows the shape of my head. I'm going to start building the head of the helmet, and what I'm going to do for that is I'm going to start shaping out a piece of cardboard to give me a rough idea of what I want to do. Since I had another skeleton helmet on hand, I'm going to use that as a reference. And it's obviously they're different in shape and how they were made, so I have to figure out like what you're going to do. You're going to do the same thing with your helmet once you start making it. What I'm doing here is I'm cutting a arrow shape form on the top to match up with the eyebrows. And then I settled on it and I was like, alright, let's go. So I'm gonna do a little bit of talking about TikTok and like all my helmets and stuff like that. So when I started making helmets, it was just out of curiosity and fun, and I just always wanted to like cover my face and have something that looks cool. And so I started picking up paper mache just to cover my face with a mask, but then I soon later on moved on to making helmets, and I fell in love with it for some reason, and so I decided to post it on TikTok. A lot of people always wonder like what it's made of, and this is the best way I could explain it. So moving on to TikTok, it was insane how much I grew from me making dumb videos with my helmet, and it was originally just meant to cover my face because I just didn't feel comfortable showing my face at the time. And for some reason, I always said, okay, when I hit 100 followers, I'm gonna show my face. No. When I hit 200 followers, I'm gonna show my face. And it went on until I hit 1,000 followers, and I was ecstatic because I was like, dang, all these people really want to see me just keep going and stuff. And I just felt so much support, and I was so thankful for all the things I've done. It's insane. Talking about the TikTok community, it started off with just a bunch of memers, cosplayers, and just people that wanted to make a name for themselves, and people with fresh content that wasn't really seen. But in the early days, it was looked down upon because it was like, oh, this is a new Vine that people are trying to make a name. Now that TikTok has grown, a lot of new people have joined, but now I just consider them clout chasers. They're doing anything they can to get followers, and instead of making original content. For a few other people that I've known, that I've grown with, they're still holding on and they're still doing what they love. Unlike some other old creators that left the platform just because they're not getting the same amount of views, they're not receiving the likes and stuff like that before. But this new wave of content is just something that I don't understand. I'm trying to evolve with it, but it's hard to move along. I'm still grateful for being surrounded by so many nice people and just being supported, and I've built a good amount of friends with this platform. So the new wave of people that downloaded TikTok are now just trying to get as many followers and likes as possible. And I get asked all the time, like, how do you get this many followers? What do I need to do to quote unquote get famous? And I don't think you have the right mindset to say that, oh, I want to be famous. But if you want to make content, just go for it. Do something that you love, show people what you can do, and all of that. And slowly and progressively, you will build a community that will love your content. And they won't just be coming and going just because you did one thing. Now that TikTok has grown, the whole community guidelines and bans and everything like that is getting more iffy, and I'm just along the ride to see like what happens, but I'm just gonna keep doing what I do. And if for some reason I decide to leave, I will probably stick to YouTube or something, but I don't think I'm gonna leave anytime soon. So back to the helmet, what I'm doing right now is I'm building the supports. The supports are gonna hold the paper mache, which is glue and paper, and it'll give its round shape of the helmet that genuinely follows the roundness of your skull. Doing this will make it look cleaner, just more smoother. Don't be afraid to fix it and redo it, because if you don't do it right the first time, there's always room for improvement. But if you already put the paper mache, it's gonna look wonky and you're gonna see it. You won't see it right now, but you'll see it later, and you want to do your best to not mess up. As you can see right here, I'm just contemplating on how fast I built the helmet because of me ranting about my own life problems. Obviously, I'm not going to be talking about that because that's saved for another time. But what I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to take a bunch of the cardboard and thin it out. Thinning out the cardboard will make it paper-like but still sturdy. And I'm going to be covering a bunch of the major spots, major holes in the helmet, so that when I cover it with paper mache, it's not going to show as much as when I start layering it over and over and over again. This helps especially since I'm meshing one mask to a cardboard helmet. It just helps better for paper mache, because paper mache obviously doesn't stick to plastic unless you're using some weird glue. So after I finish all of this up, that's going to complete the first part of this helmet. I want you to come back for next video, and that video is when I'm going to be putting paper mache to it. Hopefully you like it. Hopefully my rant was good enough, and I know I said a lot. I try to fix it as much as possible, but come back for next video. Hopefully you followed along and you kind of understand what I'm doing in the process of how I made this helmet. it's gonna be a process. Obviously, you're not gonna get it the first try you make it, but it's just something you just need to keep working on and practicing on if you really want to make a good helmet. These helmets are really worth nothing unless you're talking about like me making creative content with it. But yeah, I'll see you in the next video. Please like, hopefully you think about subscribing, and thank you.